Counter engaged.
Crypt locked. Redirecting.
Not for long. Power surge building.
Matching output.
Massive clash in the center. Neither giving an inch.
Hello. AI agents and AI automations have been becoming easier and easier to build nowadays, especially with the tools that are available. Speaking of tools, there are two big heavy hitters that I'm going to be comparing today, and you're not going to want to miss this, and you're going to want to see which one is right for you. Please stay tuned to this video to find out, and like this video, subscribe, and this is Jay Techie. Without further ado, let's get started. Today, I'm going to be comparing n8n versus OpenAI Agent Builder, and I'm going to be comparing these two, and I'm going to give my opinion on which things they can do better, or what I like better about each of them. They have their own advantages and disadvantages based on their designs, but these are the two programs we're going to be going over today. So first of all, I'm here in the AI Agent Builder, and you get there by going to platform.openai.com/agentbuilder, and you're presented with a screen that says create, and also templates that you can choose. And so I like this user interface. It's pretty simple, and you can click on if you want to start with a template or create one. And then I'm going to go over to n8n. n8n, you can either get it hosted from the n8n site or host your own, but right now I have my own hosted installation of n8n, and this is the screen that you're presented with, and you have the create workflow, or you can also select from templates as well, where you would select the templates right here, and it will bring the templates up, which is on the n8n site, and you can install any of these templates on your n8n setup. So what I want to say now is the n8n user interface does not look quite as good as the Agent Builder interface, but that's alright. It has a lot more templates to choose from than the OpenAI Agent Builder. One thing about it is n8n is open source, so there are a lot more people to contribute these things, like the different templates that you can use. And with OpenAI, it's proprietary, so there is just whatever the developers put in the templates for now, until they potentially open it up for other people to submit their templates as well. So those are some of the initial differences that I've observed. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit create on both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the create button here for the OpenAI Agent Builder, and I'm presented with a start node and my agent node, and so I can do some configurations there. And let's see what the n8n looks like when I hit the create workflow. So I'm going to go ahead and create workflow in n8n, and now it's starting and initializing. Here they don't give me an initial node to start out with like in here, so you have to get started by adding your own node to begin with. And alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a customer service agent that answers questions based on a company website. Alright, so let me go ahead and build these two things in n8n and Agent Builder and see how they compare. Just give me a few moments and I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. So I've had ChatGPT whip up a sample website for me here. It's called Mars Realty Group. Own the future, live on Mars. Your life on Mars starts here. And I made this site to test n8n and the OpenAI agent builder on this site concept, where I'm going to be having them answer the Q&A section. So I put these questions into the agents so that they can answer them. And it has such questions like, do I need to travel to Mars to purchase property? Is it safe to live on Mars? How long does it take to travel to Mars? What happens if something breaks? Do I actually own the land? And so I have these fictitious answers here. And so the goal of the AI is to answer something similar to a question that's in this kind of a flavor. And so this is to simulate a real realtor site, but I just couldn't find one for this video, but this sample site will do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have in Agent Builder and n8n. As you can see here, I have my n8n set up here. This is the fastest way you can set up an AI agent, and the way you do that in n8n is you set up a chat node, and this node is the thing that handles taking a user message and sending it to the AI agent. You need a node which is specifically called AI agent, and then within the node you can drill down, double click into the node, and you can set up some configurations within here. And the important thing that you can do to get the AI working for at least this purpose is to set the system message. So the system message is going to be, you answer FAQ for a fake realtor site, Mars Realty Group, own the future, live on Mars. That's the slogan. And then I go ahead and list the FAQ for the bot to be able to see the questions and answers for. And then I save that system prompt within the AI agent. And so inside the AI, that's what you can set up within the actual node. And then you need to hook up a chat model piece to it, a memory piece, and a tool piece. Right, for now, we don't need a tool, we just need the agent to answer questions. So what we need to do is we need to hook a chat node to it. So you go and click there, and then we added an OpenAI chat node. What you do is add your OpenAI API key, and then it will use that, and then you can choose a list of models. And also, you don't have to only use OpenAI, which is the main difference here between the two, n8n and OpenAI agent builder, because with the actual n8n, you can choose from multiple different models, whether it be Google, whether it be Anthropic, whether it be Grok, and you can choose from those different models, and as long as you have their API key, you can put it here. So remember that that's one of the key differences between the two. In n8n, you can use most of the popular suppliers. The OpenAI agent builder, of course, you can only be able to use the OpenAI models, which is the different varieties of ChatGPT. All right, and then after that, there is a part where you select the memory. And so by default, if you do not select the memory for this AI agent, it will automatically forget after one message. It will forget what you said and what itself said just after one single message. So in n8n, you have to specifically set the memory of the AI agent, and they have something called simple memory, where this is more than enough for our purposes, where it's basically not really a robust database of chat history, but it keeps track of the chat history nonetheless, and you can choose for how many messages it keeps the chat history, which I selected 10 here. And then after that, your agent should work. And then also, both platforms, they do indeed have a way to export these agents to a website. But there is a test interface within the actual builder on both builders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and test this n8n AI agent and see if it can do the job. Alright, in order to test it here, I'm going to have to actually hit this play button here above the chat node. And then once I hit this play button, I should be able to test it. And actually it brings up this window at the bottom left here where I can actually type a message. And just to make sure the actual AI agent is listening, I'm going to say hello there. I'm going to say hello there to it and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and send that hello there. And then the node executed. Let me go ahead and say hello there. Sometimes you have to send it to make sure it goes through. Send it again. Alright, so it went through the steps, and then it replied, hello, welcome to Mars Realty Group, which is correct. How can I assist you today? Alright, so let's say, I have a question. And my question is, do I actually have to travel? Do I actually have to travel to Mars in order to purchase? So the question is, do I actually have to travel to Mars in order to purchase? Gonna go ahead and ask it that and see what it says. No, you do not need to travel to Mars to purchase property. Everything can be handled remotely from Earth, making the process convenient for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. And that is correct. That is correct. As I reference my site, it says no, everything can be done remotely. And I'm going to ask, is there any special things included in Mars homes? So I'm going to ask, is there any special thing included in Mars homes? Says, yes, all homes on Mars include several essential features, such as an advanced oxygen system, radiation, shielding, climate control, ensuring a comfortable and safe living environment. If you have more questions or need further details, just let me know. Alright, so that was also correct, and I also had that question here on my actual page. See, so it says, how do I receive, or where is it here? What is included with a Mars home? Oxygen system, radiation shielding, and climate control. Alright, that sounds really good. Alright, now, so I would say this is doing the basic job that I wanted it to do, and this is n8n, and remember that what this looks like here for n8n to set up a AI agent. And now let us go and see how you do the same thing in OpenAI Agent Builder. So as you can see, this interface is OpenAI Agent Builder. And so essentially, in order to achieve the same thing, which I have just did in n8n, you only need 2 nodes to actually get a working AI agent. And so this should have the exact same functionality as this one in n8n. So actually, I would give OpenAI Agent Builder points for beginners, because a beginner can get started a bit faster with this setup, and it automatically started you out with the start button and the agent node, and with n8n it started you out with a blank canvas, and you had to add a few other nodes to get it to work properly. However, I think n8n is more powerful in the long run and can do more powerful things and more complicated things than OpenAI Agent Builder, which they both have their strengths and advantages. But anyway, with OpenAI Agent Builder, you start with a start node, and it's essentially like the chat node in n8n, and then the AI agent node, which is essentially like the AI agent node in n8n, except where you put the prompt is where it says under the instructions there. And so this is the system prompt, which is the exact duplicate prompt I put in n8n. And then here you can choose your model, and with the models, of course, they can only be GPT models from OpenAI. It does not allow Grok, Gemini, or any other ones like n8n does. And so that's essentially what you need in order to get a working AI agent going. And then after that, what you can do is we can test it. And also here, they also allow you to embed your AI agents into websites as well, which is good. And so, well, let me just tell you real quick, with OpenAI Agent Builder, when you export to embed to another website, you will have to add that to your list of approved domains inside your settings. You don't have to do that with n8n. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this AI agent and let's test to see how it does. Alright, so I essentially hit the play button to test it. And now what you need to do is we can ask it about Mars. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello there to initialize the conversation. And it says, Mars Realtor Customer Service. Hello, welcome to Mars Realty Group. Own the future, live on Mars. How can I help you with your Martian real estate needs today? Perfect. So that's correct. And let's ask this one a couple of questions and see what it comes up with. And so another question is, I'm going to ask, is financing available for these homes on Mars? So, is financing available for these homes on Mars? And let's see if it's correct. Yes, financing is available for our Mars properties. We offer Earth-based financing options and also accept select cryptocurrencies. If you'd like more details about our financing plans or would like to discuss specific options, just let us know. Okay, so that's gonna be correct, where I can verify on my site here, where it says, let's see, is financing available? Yes, we offer Earth-based financing options and select cryptocurrencies, and it got it correct. Alright, and what else can we ask this AI agent? Okay, let's ask him, what if something breaks in my house? So, what if something breaks in my house? Okay, so I'm gonna ask him that and see if something breaks in your Mars house. There's no need to worry. No need to worry. Our autonomous repair drones are dispatched to handle all maintenance and repairs. This ensures your property stays in top condition even if you're still on Earth. If you have specific concerns or want more detail about the maintenance services, feel free to ask. So that is also correct. And as I verify on my little page here, it does indeed say that if something breaks, autonomous repair drones are dispatched to handle maintenance. Alright, so that's correct. And it's doing the job that I want it to do. And let's up the functionality a little bit for this AI agent. Let's see if we can send an email. What would be good is if the AI agent offers for the request to be forwarded to a human agent, and then it will proceed to email the human agent with the question. So let's go ahead and add that functionality to both of them and see how they do. Alright, and give me a moment while I hook up that functionality. Alright, so I want to take this challenge to the next level, which I not only want this AI agent to answer the frequently asked questions, but also I wanted to offer to send the question to a human. So what I did was I went ahead and adjusted the prompt here inside the agent, where I added a place where I essentially said that if the user asks more than one question, then go ahead and offer the user whether they want to send their question to a human agent. And also, it continues to answer the question, but also gives that selection of sending it to a human agent if they want. But I wanted to go ahead and gather and confirm the user's question, and also gather the best email address to reply to the user. And I put that in the prompt so far, and then I want to actually also check the chat model here, and I'm gonna put it on a stronger chat model because I did some earlier testing. 4.0 isn't 4.0 mini seems to not be powerful enough to listen to that prompt. So I'm going to choose something more powerful, and we're going to see how it does. I'm going to choose that for now, the 5.4 Pro. That might be overkill, but we'll see. Also, what I did was I added the Gmail tool here, and for n8n, they require you to sign in with your credentials, and you should be able to follow the step-by-step instructions on how to do that. And so I signed in with my Google Gmail account credentials here, and after that you can set it to where the bot can decide the subject and the message, and in this case I wanted to decide all three. And alright, so that's my setup to pull off what I have described. Now it's time to test to see if the n8n AI agent will be able to perform the duty. Alright, so the model I'm using for this test is actually 5.4 mini, and I'm going to go ahead and test this out. And I'm going to ask, do I actually have to go to Mars? And it says, no, you do not need to travel to Mars. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to help. Would you like me to email this question to a human agent? Not quite yet. let me ask, do you offer financing? And yes, we offer Earth-based financing options and accept select cryptocurrencies. And so it says, would you like me to email this question to a human agent? If so, the question you want sent, the email address you want replied to, and I'm going to have it send a human. How much is your most expensive property available? And I'm going to say, I want the following question sent to a human. So, how much is your most expensive property available? A good reply email for me is I can say JY3 at yahoo.com. Alright, so I put a question here for it to send to a human. What is the most expensive property available? And I gave my reply email address, and let's see if it will take that and send our email. Alright, it says, thanks, I've sent your question to a human agent, and now let us verify whether it has really done that. So just give me one moment. Alright, I have pulled up my inbox, and it has indeed sent the email. The user question is, how much is your most expensive property available? Reply email, the email I gave, and it actually did successfully do that mission. So n8n gets a lot of points from me for being able to pull that off. Alright, so I am back at the OpenAI agent builder, and they do have a Gmail node to allow agents to access Gmail. However, they do not have a send email feature, or they do not have a trivial way to send an email through Gmail like on n8n. So that's disappointing, but it can answer the FAQ in 2 nodes. However, you're not able to trivially send an email based on what I've seen here. So, well, I mean, n8n was able to do the full requirements of what I wanted, and this agent builder was probably able to do 70% of what I wanted, but they're both different, and they both can probably excel at different things, which I would say n8n can probably handle more robust things, more complicated tasks for an agent. And agent builder, you can get a basic agent up very quickly, so it's more geared toward beginners, I would say. They can both be embedded in websites and used in your personal code. Alright, well, that's what I wanted to show you guys today was a little n8n versus OpenAI Agent Builder. Which one do you think is better? Go ahead and try them both and tell me what you think. Alright, well, thanks for watching the video. This is Jade Techie. Subscribe to this channel, and as always, peace.